Okay, here we go. Welcome, everybody. So nice to have you here. My name is Lisa Virtue, and I'm an international career coach and job search strategist, and bringing you female mentor conversations. Welcome, everybody. And let me just make sure. Okay, we're live. Just checking. All right, before we introduce our guests, let me just share with you really quick what we both have going on. So bear with me 1 second. We're working everywhere on the devices and everything. All right. Okay, so today I am thrilled to have my friend and fellow coach, Tanya Monuma, join us. And before we get started, I need your help. So in order for me to continue to bring these impactful conversations and bring women who are at the top of their craft to you, please subscribe to the channel Lisa Virtue Coaching and like these videos if you find them useful. Excuse me. So there's that beautiful red subscribe button. In case you've never done it, give us a like. And then on each of the upcoming conversations, you can also set reminders. So you don't have, YouTube makes it so easy for us to watch live. Now, if you don't catch them live, you can always go back to the same link and the video will be there again. And today, if you have to jump off for some reason, go ahead and come back in later. And then the other thing is to encourage chatting. If you subscribe to the channel, you can also drop your questions in on the chat. So if anything comes up today as it applies to Tanya's story, manifesting what you truly want, your mindset, mindfulness, meditation, anything that's been burning on your brain, or if you're having a challenge with that work, please drop a question in the chat and I'll keep my eye on it. All right, we're bringing this to you with my new platform, Her Career Studio. And this is an online career coaching platform for women. It also includes mentorship. And I'm just thrilled to be able to announce that I had launched this in January. And so if you're looking for help with your resume, interview prep, job search, mentorship conversations like this, please let me know if you're interested, or just head to hercareerstudio.com. I'm also offering all of the viewers free resume reviews. We know that so many people are looking for new jobs, trying to make a change. Maybe you're looking for clarity. Do you actually qualify for a job that you're interested in? Any of that is true for you. Please head to hercareerstudio.com or lisavirtuecoaching.com. This is not exclusive to women. I also coach men. So anyone that is looking for help with your resume, just head there and there's an easy link to sign up to get your resume reviewed. All right, without further ado, I'm so thrilled. Tanya Monuma is with Zennya Coaching. She is a soft-spoken podcaster whose voice is behind the Compassionate Mindfulness with Zennya podcast. She also is on YouTube, so please support her and head to her channel after this and subscribe. You will love her meditation exercises and what she has to offer. She is a certified meditation coach based in Montreal, Canada. We both ironically have sun today, which is rare for me in Oregon, but not for her. And it's freezing in Canada, as you can imagine. So her holistic approach brings clarity, direction, and a life of balance to women, mainly over 35, but she also works with anyone that finds a connection with her. She helps clients live their best life in presenting mindful, actionable steps that help fill the gap between where they are now and where they want to be, and stop procrastinating. Her bold and audacious vision is to contribute to the biggest rise in human consciousness and transformation the world has ever seen. And I will echo, as a coach right now, what we are seeing is a huge shift in especially 2022. People are ready to take control again after these last 2 years of just chaos and uncertainty and having so many things imposed upon us that we had no control over. So I echo what Tanya is saying. This is the time to take control of your mindset, take control of your opportunities, and make it happen. There's so much power in having someone hold the space for you. So of course, I believe wholeheartedly in coaching, life coaching, meditation coaching, and also what I do is career coaching. but trying to bring all these wellness professionals together to give you a well-rounded view of how you can make a change and an impact in your own career and your life. All right, without further ado, we'll talk about how you can connect with Tanya later. I am going to kick it over to her. Tanya, welcome.
Thank you, Lisa. Again, thank you so much for having me. It is so humbling, and I appreciate you giving us a platform to allow us to get to know each other. And authenticity and transparency is important to me. And it's important for people to know that what you do is important for people who are just starting to build a community like I am, just starting to build my beautiful community. And so a little bit about me. I grew up in a hardworking, multicultural community. My parents, both teachers, just like most parents doing the best they could with the knowledge they had, taught us directly or indirectly that we had to follow the masses, right? That is, get an education, play sports, work hard, be a good human, get a decent job, and eventually retire. So that's exactly what I did. I studied, got a degree in psychology, played basketball, made beautiful connections, and joined the workforce where I continued to make beautiful connections. And the problem was with that once I got to the age where I had to go out there and make a living, it just didn't feel right. When I took the subway, the faces are all like mundane faces that look like zombies, the same expressions, right? And most people just didn't even realize that they were in a zombie state, kind of robots going about their business. People in general didn't look happy or excited to go to work. And it all seemed so unbalanced to me. And don't get me wrong, I appreciate the 9 to 5 and what it can teach you. I just always knew that I wanted to contribute in a different way, and on my own terms. When I had children, that desire got stronger, and the idea of choosing my own schedule, working on my terms, just called to me. And this deep desire to be at peace and walk around with like an overall feeling of wellness, it didn't match the hustle and bustle that I was going through. So the turning point was, and still is, my children, and the feeling of overwhelmed and constant rush made me like literally not like myself. I felt annoyed all the time. And that's when I started working on myself and my personal growth journey that led me to meditation, which then led me to get certified as a meditation coach. And for those who don't know, a meditation coach is a life coach that brings meditation. So it's like a nice little twist to life coaching. And now my mission, as Lisa said, is to contribute to the biggest rise in human consciousness and transformation that we've ever seen. And I do that through my podcasts and different things that I offer for free. And of course, my one-on-one coaching. So I love to hold space for women in particular, just because of the story that I have and what I can contribute. And yeah, it's I strongly believe in a holistic approach to coaching in order to welcome balance and peace into one's life, and holding people accountable through actionable steps will ensure their success.
Absolutely. Thank you for that introduction and background on how you got into this awesome work. So Tanya and I originally met through a mom's group and immediately bonded. I will say that. I'll speak for you also.
Yeah, we really did.
Yeah. Having the same kind of approach and thoughtfulness behind not only our careers, but parenting with our careers. And so one thing we had talked about sharing today, and I'd love to get your input on this, Tanya, is when you are a woman thinking about having children, or maybe you already have had children, what is it that moms need in order to do that huge, important work and contribute to the household? Because financially, so many moms want choice, right? We know that they want to be able to choose to either continue their career or contribute somehow financially to household, sometimes the mom is the breadwinner and is the primary financial contributor. So what have you learned along the way? This is our mentorship part of this conversation before we get into our mindfulness and meditation work. What is it that you would recommend to women that either are considering having children or have had them and are struggling with that balance?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. One of the most important things is to be able to have a dialogue with your significant other about the duties that are shared between a husband and a wife, or a significant other and yourself. These conversations require a lot of patience, right? Because for us as women, to express the multitude of feelings around caring for your children while keeping up with the work we put into the house, our business, ourselves, it's really important. It's an important conversation to have that requires lots of empathy from yourself and from your partner. You both have to kind of understand where each other is coming from. For them to be able to truly put themselves in our shoes, it's not realistic in the sense that they'll never know what it feels like to breastfeed. Just that alone is something they'll never experience, so they won't be able to quite put themselves in your shoes. They can try though, because it's really important to have that empathy. Pushing out a baby, the labor, carrying the baby, only a mother truly knows that. And when you say it out loud, there's absolutely no denying that mothers have a lot on their plate. So the conversation is about sharing duties. Sharing duties has to come with an understanding on both sides that our experience is very different. It is a conversation that has to be had, though. Like it really needs to get out there, because or else it leads to festering of resentment. There's no going around it, because as a mother, you will develop those feelings of resentment. So my advice, not only does the conversation need to occur, you, the mom, needs to be intentional and unapologetic in carrying out or carving out time for yourself. The entire household does not benefit from an overwhelmed mom. So I said mom, an overwhelmed mom. So yeah, happy wife, happy household.
Yeah. I definitely agree. And I want to acknowledge, of course, there's women doing this without a partner at home as well. So we're specifically talking about, if you do have a partner, how do you have that conversation and approach it? And so women that don't have a partner at home, absolutely utilizing your community and finding those people that can help you and give you relief so that you can take care of yourself. And sometimes just being intentional about finding the time in your day, right? There's so many times, and I've had this problem too, where instead of doing that self-care discipline, because we know self-care is not a luxury, it should be a discipline, that we'll pick up our phones and we'll go on social media, and we end up in this rabbit hole where we could have spent that 30 minutes just doing breath work or meditation or pulling ourselves away. And so the distraction, we talk about not having enough time, but there's all these little loose ends everywhere. How much time do we really have that we couldn't just shift that mindset like we're talking about today slightly, so that we're putting that time towards something that will help us and that will help the household.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I teach is time boxing, because it's so incredibly important to carve out time for yourself and for everything that you value. Figure out what your value system is, what you value, and make time for it.
Absolutely. Well, one story I have really quick as a mentor is that my husband is always approachable, and that's why we've been together, I think, for so long, and it works having these conversations. But I definitely fell into that trap, especially as a young mom prior to the pandemic, of I have to do everything. I have to be everything, be everyone. Shuffling, even just asking my husband to help with something with my daughter, there was sometimes a shame or a guilt to that, where I thought, well, why can't I just be that mom and be that career woman and not have to constantly ask for help? And I think that you can unpack that in so many ways. A lot of it has to do with my own upbringing, my own mother who did not take time for herself. And so seeing those examples with past generations, good and bad, of where is there a balance? And so many women would say it was selfish. I don't know if you ever heard that. Like my grandparents, I had two very different grandmas who, one would say, oh, it's selfish to do things for yourself. And the other would say, you've got to do everything you need for yourself first. And so finding that voice, that internal voice, and having a healthy way to approach it. What would you say to that? Do you have that same experience? Has there been examples in your life about that?
Yeah, well, my mom was the type to do everything herself. She was a single mom, although I was with my father's side of the family. It's just complicated, but I just saw her do everything herself. She wasn't very traditional in the type of traditional West Indian parent. So she was more liberal. So I understood the notion of taking care of yourself. It just wasn't shown to me because she was just go, 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 go. It's only at a later age when you realize you get all this information, you get your education from, well, now you can get it from podcasts, from taking certificates here and there. You understand that it's like a must. It's something that should be in our education system, actually. This notion of taking care of yourself, because once it's like putting on the oxygen mask on yourself first. It's such a cliche, but it's so true. So yeah, I've heard of it all the time, and I've seen it firsthand how detrimental it can be to not take time for yourself.
Right. I can absolutely relate to that. Yep.
Mm.
So creating our own narrative and our own journey is so important, especially as moms and working women. Another thing I would say, I completely agree, the education. So we're in this day of knowledge, right? You can literally Google anything. You can find information. People RSVP'd to this event, I think, to have that practical application, right? So we'll jump into that now of how do you actually shift your mindset and manifest? And I think what people are inundated with information and finding it all, but having someone help you in your unique situation, take all that knowledge and create it into wisdom, right? The applied knowledge side. So why don't we shift into that? I don't know if you have anything else you want to share about your partner approaching conversations besides just do it. Like we need to just have the conversation, right? If you have anything to talk about that, and then we'll shift into how do we actually on a daily basis create that mindset and get to these habits that will impact us.
Yeah. So for the conversation, it's just do it. Just do it. I have more to say about that, but I don't think anyone watching this can argue that the right mindset will propel you towards a life of abundance, really. The first thing I want people to know is do not be hard on yourself. Do not be hard on yourself. Then there's the law of attraction in terms of mindset that I want to talk about. And to understand the law of attraction, you must understand the law of resonance. And the law of resonance states that there are rates, the rate of the vibration projected will harmonize with and attract back energies with the same resonance. So this is where the law of attraction comes into play. And so if there's anything you need to understand about the law of attraction, it's that resonance must be involved. So personal growth is a must. You have to kind of work on yourself. It doesn't come overnight. You'll get what you put out in life and in the world. When you make subtle shifts towards a more positive mindset, the universe and the world will ensure you get what you want. It's the law. It's just, it's the law of resonance, the law of attraction. So many people hear about it, but don't quite apply the what I do, what comes out of me is what will come back to me. So developing an awareness for where you are within certain levels also of awareness is necessary to make those shifts. And what I mean by that, there's different levels of awareness that I've learned. And the first level is the victim mentality, where everything is just happening to you because, of this, because of that, because of, you victimize everything. So it's a to me mentality. And in order to go from the to me mentality to the by me mentality, which is like the achiever mode, you need to give up the blame and replace it with personal responsibility. So these are all mindset things that you have to really absorb, like really think about when you make an excuse or when something pops up. Are you being a victim, or are you overcoming it and trying to find a way to achieve what you want, right? And then there's a through me mentality. So you go from by me, which is the achiever mode, to through me, and in through me mentality, life happens for me. So things just come to you with ease. And that's where like the law of resonance kind of comes into play. You just trust in a bigger picture, and you understand that the universe is working for you and not against you. And then some people also talk about a fourth level, which is the as me mentality, which is kind of like everything around you is one. You really, they say some yoga masters and really deep meditators really feel that connection to every single thing, to the table, to every living being, obviously, but every object around them as well. So these are mentalities that you can work through with personal growth, and meditation helps a lot with that. So I hope that kind of gave people a good
I love that there's so much conversation about the mentality, especially what you first said. Am I a victim? And absolutely, there are times people have things imposed, like we were talking about with the workforce right now. If you are laid off out of the blue, yes, you should grieve that experience, right? Would you agree? Like first grieve it, like get through the grief stage. And then moving on and finding where can you harness your mindset to move forward and make it more of an opportunity at that point, right?
That's right. Yeah. And it's not to say that I haven't had that, we all have that victim mentality at times. It's just being aware of it and catching it, and then being able to shift it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. Great. Well, do you want to take us through some exercises today?
Yeah, so I'll guide you through a really simple body scan meditation. So wherever you're at, just without any judgment on yourself, you can close your eyes, just feel yourself on the chair and make yourself as comfortable as possible. And we're going to start off with, you can have your eyes closed, but you can also have them slightly open. And we're going to start off with just a couple of really deep breaths, holding it at the top and making the exhale nice and long. And just bringing your awareness to your body and how you're feeling at this moment. And relax every body part as you bring your awareness to it, starting with your toes. Take a nice deep breath into it and relax your feet. Relax your legs. Feel yourself sitting on the chair. Relax your stomach. Relax your back. Your arms. Your hands. Take a deep breath into your shoulders. Relax your neck. Relax your face and your jaw. And just imagine a beautiful bright light right on top of your head, going through your entire body, starting at the top of your head, all the way down to your toes. And this bright light is bringing calm and healing to your body. And gently curve your lips into a smile and take one last deep breath. And when you are ready, bring yourself back into the room, wiggle your toes and your fingers, and gently open your eyes. My apologies for my son crying in the background. I'm not sure if you guys heard that.
No, well, I didn't. Thank you. That was wonderful.
Thank you.
Mind-body connection. So powerful, isn't it?
So powerful. Yeah. And we don't think of how powerful it is. And then when we actually take a deep breath, we realize, oh my gosh, I've had this all along.
Right. Yes. I taught especially people that are working on devices all day or in the job hunt, just remembering and setting alarms helps with this too. Just remembering to pull away, even if it's for 2 minutes, right? There's so much power in that. Just walk away, go get water, stand up, and then doing these exercises. That was brief, but very impactful.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, anything else, Tanya, today? Well, actually, before I ask that question, how can people get in touch with you if they're really ready to make a shift and work on this work? Because it's a discipline, but it's also self-care. How can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, sure. So I can be reached at Zennya Coaching on Instagram and Facebook. I also have my website, www.zenya, ZENNYA.ca. If you add / links, there's more information there as well. So just those three things already, you'll find a lot of resources.
Beautiful. ZENNYA.
That's right.
Perfect. Is there anything else you'd like to share with the audience today?
Well, I just want to thank you again for allowing me to just be with this beautiful community. And it's just great work that you're doing. So I really appreciate it. And I truly hope that the audience got something out of it. And yeah, it's just great to connect.
Yes, thank you so much. I love giving this platform for women who are masters at their craft. And I know that you are one. And so thank you so much for sharing your time with us today. Appreciate it so much. I'm going to share a really quick, a little more visuals. So Zennya Coaching, you can see how to spell it right there. And again, please like and subscribe her channel as well. And then if you could also support this effort of keeping these conversations going, just shoot us a subscribe. That would be really helpful. Thank you to everyone joining us. And thank you, Tanya. I can't wait to talk to you again soon.
Thank you so much.